about 7 days off to prepare for us. I thought we showed a little effect of 3 games in about 7 days. I didn't think we quite had the pop in our effort as we had the other games, but I thought we rejuvenated ourselves, and by other guys coming in and giving us some contributions. Nate Jack came in, gave us a big 3, and Sadar Calvin came in and gave us a big bucket. I thought Malik Osmond's defense was excellent in the first half. Gave us a lot of energy. Quincy came in and gave us a few minutes good defense. Made a big basket there for us. But that's who we are. We're still trying to learn more and more about who we are and how we utilize the talents we have on the team. This is a very important victory for us. Last couple of years, we've lost our first ACC game. So we've gotten off to a pretty good start. We're pleased with that. We're a team that's still learning, still growing. We're not as smooth as I think we need to be. We're not making all great decisions, especially at the beginning of the game. But we're still a work in progress. But to be 4-0 this time of year, we'll take it, and we're pleased with where we are.
Leonard, how important was that? How important was that dunk from Scotty when they had closed the gap to 1 with a 15-0 run? Just, late in the shot clock, you guys obviously need a basket, and he takes it strong and flushes it like that.
Well, we needed a basket, and that just shows a little bit about his courage and his ability to mature and seize the moment. But I think also we got some good defensive stops that I thought during that stretch that really, really separated that period than some of the others, because it's almost like, even though we were not executing offensively, we were not getting good stops on the other end. And I thought at that moment we got our starters back in the game, our most experienced players, I guess you might say. We got our most experienced players back in the game, and I thought that they executed very well down the stretch.
Especially after last week and the success Trace Jackson-Davis had against y'all, how much happier were you tonight with how the bigs handled another talented big in Moses Wright?
Well, there's no doubt that we have a tremendous amount of respect for the type of season that Moses is having. And if we didn't give him that level of respect, it probably would have made the game a lot more challenging. They utilized him very well. And he had some good looks, and we were very fortunate that he didn't have his typical night where he gets 25, 30 points.
Coach, you guys went 8 of 17 tonight from beyond the arc. You said before the season that you thought this team had a chance to be a pretty good shooting team. How does the ability to hit the 3 ball change the flow and the ebbs of the game while you guys are in the middle of it?
Well, what we're trying to do is be a well-balanced team, a team that can throw the ball inside and finish, a team that can get the mid-range pull-ups, and also be a team that can shoot from the 3-point line. So I think that we have those ingredients to our team. But excuse me, those threes were timely, and we needed them. And when a team is playing a matchup zone like they like to play, having that as a weapon, kind of makes them a little cautious with how they rotate their defensive players. So I think that's why I put Jack in as early as I did, and we got Wyatt in as early as we did, because we wanted them to recognize that we were a pretty good shooting team, and polite shooting the ball from the perimeter as well. And MJ, he always seizes the moment, and Turk, we do have some other guys, even along with Malik, that are pretty good shooters. I think that's, at some point, I think you'll see that that's one of the strengths of our team.
Leonard, I know that Scotty and MJ combined for 26 in the first half, or in the second half. But in that first half, you don't have a lead without your bench. I guess just could you talk about their contributions tonight, and maybe that was their best stretch of the season so far? Just getting the production you got from your bench overall, including
There's no doubt.
Wyatts 11.
If you go back a couple of years, and I told our guys the other day, when we had Rodas and CJ and Trent and those guys, I think it was Chris coming off the bench, they gave us more energy than maybe even that we were getting from our starters. And I thought that really had a lot to do with the success of our team. The full complement of our guys coming in and giving us a lift. And I think we showed some signs that maybe we can get back to that level, because we needed a lift from our rotation players, and we got it tonight.
Talk about Wyatt for a minute to piggyback off of that. Just talk about the performance he had in the first half and how that lifted up your team.
Well, I said all along that Wyatt is our best perimeter shooter, and Nate Jack probably is right there with him. And we have to find ways to utilize those guys in our system, which means that when you're a good shooter, you need to have somebody getting you the ball. You either come from a ball movement, ball reversal, or somebody who's exceptionally good at penetrating and finding those guys and getting them wide open looks. We're not quite there yet. Tonight, I thought that we did a better job than we had the other 3 games, but we have to find a way to integrate that a little bit more into our schemes so we can have a really a team that complements each other. Our guys have worked real hard on the perimeter shooting. And for Wyatt to come in the first half and be as confident as he was, to step up and take those shots. You didn't see any hesitation. Nate Jack came right off the bench. He hit his hands, he knocked it down. That's encouraging for me as a coach to see those guys coming in and making contributions. I thought that Malik came in and really gave us a big lift defensively. I think he might have played 10 or 12 minutes in the first half, which I thought was really good. Sadar Calhoun came in immediately, showed that hey, listen, I'm on the floor, and there's no hesitation in my part, on his part. That's kind of who we are. But tonight, Wyatt, no doubt about it, he gave us a big lift tonight. And I see if we continue to keep showing the capabilities of being able to do that, I think we'll be continuing to keep getting better when we have a full complement of all our players playing well, hopefully at the same time.
Coach, can you talk about Polite?
Go ahead.
Thanks. Coach, can you talk about Anthony Polite and how he's developed as a player over the past couple of years?
Well, he's been solid now. I mean, he has been attentive. He's allowed himself to be coached. He's a great teammate. He's has an unselfish spirit. He plays great defense. He hits his free throws. He's a guy that you love to see grow and develop. He redshirted as a freshman, had a lot of injuries, a lot of shin splits and stuff like that. Now you see him you see all his hard work paying off. But we need him to be one of the leaders on our team, and he's stepping up and giving us great leadership.
You said yesterday that Raekwon Evans was especially affected by the Keontae Johnson incident in Saturday's game. Was his absence tonight connected to that?
Those guys will be ready to play on Saturday.
Leonard, did you guys challenge Scotty at halftime? He seemed to be more aggressive. I don't know if y'all told him to do that or that was just within the flow of the game.
That was just in the flow of the game. But he's a competitor. And what you have to understand is, I didn't see, we were up 8 at halftime, 7 at halftime. That's the name of the game. And the way we play, you're going to have different guys contributing in different parts of the game. And I was glad to see our guys not be challenged by that. No one was worried about it. Name of the game is winning the game, and not necessarily that everybody on the team is going to have great stats every night. Sometimes it's going to be somebody else, and your role changes from night to night. But because of the nature of how we play, the second half came out, and those guys had more of an opportunity than what the guys had in the first half. And so that's kind of who we are, and that's what we're trying to we trying to we want to win the games now, but we also got to get guys minutes to try to develop for the future because we know that we didn't have the exhibition games and all the other games to get ready. So we kind of learn on the job training, so to speak. And I think you're going to see that happen throughout the year. Each night is going to be somebody else. Each half is going to be somebody else.
Coach, with Balsa last year, I know the final game of the year, he had 18 against Boston College. And Coach Jung said that there was, from a staff, you guys really challenged him over the summer and into the fall to take his game to the next level. I feel like he's done that the first 4 games of the year. What have you seen from him?
Well, Balsa's still growing and learning. I mean, he's still he's a guy who's takes him a little while to the grasp where we are and what we're doing. I'm very proud of him. He struggled a little bit the first half. He came out the second half, and you can see he was a different guy. But that's part of the learning. That's part of the part of that sometimes you don't see. You see the physical guy, but there's a lot of mental and emotional maturing that goes through this process that allows you, to be confident and be able to go out and contribute night in and night out.
You want to stay with Coach?
Anything else, fellas? All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We go ahead.
Thank you, Leonard.